I would like to call the school board meeting for Tuesday, September 19th, 2023 for the Des Moines Public Schools to order. Ms. Rios, could you please take the roll?
Yes, Ms. Alonso Diaz,
Here.
Ms. Bradley,
Here.
Ms. Caldwell Johnson, Ms. Knox, Ms. Martirana, Ms. Norris,
Here.
Ms. Sawyer. Here. We have quorum.
Thank you. The first item of business is approval of the agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve, Norris. Alonso, second.
We have a motion by Ms. Norris and a second by Ms. Alonso Diaz. Board members, please cast your votes. The vote is approved 4-0. The next item on our agenda is district recognitions. Superintendent Roberts, would you please present?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Bradley. Good evening, everyone. Today, we have a number of recognitions as we continue to bring forth our recognitions to the school board meetings, celebrating the successes and accomplishments of our students and staff throughout the Des Moines Public Schools. Tonight, I have a couple of examples that I'm truly excited to share. First up, Kirk Johnson. Kirk has been a DMPS educator for more than 3 decades, beginning his service and tenure at Hoover High School, where he was a teacher and coach for many years, the school's director of speech and forensics. You wore many hats. For the past 17 years, Kirk has been right here at Central Campus, overseeing the broadcasting and film program, along with the school's radio station. You have to tune in and listen. KDPS 88.1. By any measure, Kirk is one of the preeminent communications educators, both here in Iowa as well as around the nation. And so he has gotten to the pinnacle of recognitions, as we know it, in many fields: athletics, academics, and others. We are excited to learn a few weeks ago that he is being inducted into the Iowa High School Speech Association's Hall of Fame, the canton of the Iowa High School Speech Association. We are honored that Kirk is with us this evening, and I would like to invite him to come to share a few words about his work and this recognition and the importance of students learning excellent communication skills from one of the best in the country. Please come to the podium.
Thank you so much, Dr. Roberts, and certainly nice to meet you, and it's good to be here with you in person. I want to talk a little bit about the association that's honoring me. The Iowa High School Speech Association sanctions all of our festivals and events throughout the season. So there is a coaches convention in October, but as soon as that convention is over, that is the launching pad for the students to begin their work for festivals. And it's often said at our festivals that Iowa leads the nation in this type of instruction. And it isn't because we're winning lots of awards, but it's because of the number of opportunities that the state of Iowa provides for kids that are in speech and drama and debate. I can think of 16 categories off the top of my head in which they compete at a festival. So if they can't be in musical theater, they can be in expository address, or they can be in extemporaneous speaking or improvisation. So the list goes on and on. It's like there is a place for every student in Iowa to participate, and they don't have to wait to participate. It's game on as soon as we register them for the contest. So I've always appreciated that. And even my own mother was a kindergarten teacher. She said, no one sits on the bench when it comes to speech and debate activities. And that stuck with me for a long time. I also want to thank the communications team here at DMPS. And they did a nice job of putting the story together. And then I've had board members reach out to me, as well as former students. And that is something you don't expect when you're grinding it out in the classroom every day. So what a nice surprise, and it just makes me very humbled and grateful. I was a student teacher at Hoover High School, so I just want you to know that they really rolled the dice on me and hired me the very next semester after I finished my student teaching experience. We had a celebration of life for my cooperating student teacher not too long ago. His name was Dennis Hildreth. So if you're in the halls of Hoover High School, you'll see the Dennis Hildreth Auditorium. And that certainly means a lot to me because he basically handed me students that would not stop participating. I mean, they had a rehearsal ethic that I could not compete with. They just wanted to be in front of an audience. And my own speech teacher said too, I'm not training young actors and actresses. And that was soul crushing. You know, when he would say that in public, it's like, what am I? You know, I'm participating for a reason. But he said, I'm making great community members. I'm making great people. And he says, when you have to memorize lines, you're going to develop a certain discipline. You're going to have poise. You're going to have patience. So if anything, I want to share this recognition with other speech, drama, and debate teachers that exhibit so much patience with students as they develop their communication skills. Quite frankly, nothing is more important when you get out in the real world than to communicate effectively, because you'll be left in the dust if you don't speak up for yourself, and you can't always count on other people to do that. So I appreciate what you all do to create the time and space for speech and drama teachers to do their activity, whether it's at the school or here at Central Campus. I do not have to pretend that what I'm doing is important because we're on the radio, we're making videos, and those are out for the public to see. I think it's even important that a student performs for a critic judge to take constructive criticism from others and then take it for what it's worth. So again, I appreciate all that the district has done for me. 3 decades goes very quickly, but I was pleased to have my wife and as a partner through all of this, and the 3 children that we raised also attended Hoover High School, and they're just so proud of the things that they accomplished while they were in the district. So thank you very much.
Thank you. What a recognition and an honor, and certainly a plug for us, for all of our student teachers who will see this recording. You can come here and truly become here 30 years later. So make sure that you're sticking around with us. Certainly a second recognition, and not necessarily in this order. Or we often in the district like to joke that Amanda Miller, our Director of Food, Nutrition, and Logistics here at DMPS, she runs the largest restaurant in the state of Iowa. And it is true. You know, feeding tens of thousands of students each and every school day certainly means that she has more patrons than any other restaurant in this entire state. She and her team on any given day serve 13,000 breakfasts, about 22,000 lunches, and a student favorite, she serves about 1,500 snacks every day. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot more than just putting food on the plate for Amanda. She and her team have worked hard to improve the nutritional value of our meals, have introduced new tastes and cultures into our menus, and has made sure that no child or family has to be burdened with the cost of paying for breakfast or lunch at school. Because again, this year, in partnership with some of our federal guidelines, 100% of our breakfasts and lunches are free to 100% of our students. You know, one would think that given her role that she is an executive who sits in the back office and makes decisions, but I have had the good fortune of witnessing her in our schools, sleeves rolled up, gloves on, behind the counter, serving our students. It is no surprise to us then that last week, the Iowa Restaurant Association named Amanda as one of 40 women to watch in the hospitality industry. Amanda Miller, look, if you haven't listened to our latest edition of the Become Here podcast, the podcast that is fastly and quickly becoming the #1 education podcast in the nation, please tune in to listen to the Become Here project, and you will hear Amanda talking about the important work of our food and nutrition team. We are fortunate to have her with us this evening to share a little bit more about the work of the food and nutrition team. And as promised to her, I cannot wait to sample some of those lunches. Amanda Miller, congratulations. Please come say a few words.
Hi, thank you very much, Dr. Roberts and board members. I'm happy to be here tonight. I prepared a short 2 to 3 hour speech in honor of this recognition. So I hope everyone is ready. There'll be an intermission.
Are there
Okay, good.
snacks? Oh, good.
Right. So I started my journey as a high school teacher. I never thought that in the entire world I'd ever be head lunch lady of Des Moines Public Schools, running the largest restaurant in the state of Iowa. And I was a teacher with a leadership dream, and I found my way here. And this is the best job I've ever had. I honestly love this district, and I love the mission and vision that it stands for. My staff feel a purpose when they come to work to feed the kids. They know what they're here for, and they know what they need to do. We've put a motto of students first within our lunchrooms. We want to increase menu offerings. So this year we've done 2 options for breakfast in the classroom, which is new this year. It's very confusing for kindergartners, but we have made the progress. We've started now even 4 lunch choices for elementary students, which is double when I started the amount of lunch choices. We've increased our produce offerings on salad bars. I happened to see Dr. Roberts when I was working at Jefferson Elementary. We served fresh pico de gallo that we made, and the students loved it. I got to go around and sample with students and see what they liked and what they didn't like. I got to work at Cattell Elementary School, and I've never seen so much watermelon being eaten before. I think we served 20 or 30 pounds that day to those little kids at Cattell. But part of my job is not only providing safe, healthy, nutritious food, but also nutrition education. And this year we've been able to expand our nutrition education program into all elementary school classrooms. So every kindergarten through 3rd grade will have a 30-minute nutrition education lesson in regards to in September, it's cantaloupe, and in October, we're moving to jicama. So they'll see it in the garden, they'll try it with their nutrition educator, they'll see it on the salad bar, and they'll taste it in their fresh fruit and vegetable program. So there's lots of different ways that we're starting to cultivate brave tasters in our district. But really, this is not about me. This is about my team. And the team that I help support is 400 staff, but not only my team, also talent and personnel, business and finance, operations. We can't do it without custodians, without bus drivers. We all work together to make this possible. And so we really have put teachers in the place that they can do teaching, so we can take care of the lunch and we can do the heavy work so they don't have to cut the watermelon. But thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate all the nice things Dr. Roberts said. I'll have to have my parents tune in to watch it. And thank you for all the work that you do, and to everyone else, because this is a big job for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda and Kurt. Ms. Bradley, that ends this evening's recognition for this segment of the meeting.
Thank you, Superintendent Roberts. Next on the agenda is the public forum, followed by the consent and regular agenda. We provide speakers at the forum an opportunity to address the board for up to 3 minutes regarding items that are not on the board agenda. We also allow any person the opportunity to speak to the board for up to 5 minutes following the presentation of an agenda item. If anyone wishes to speak during any portion of the business meeting, please email rosa.rios@dmschools.org. The same speaking protocols apply to all individuals who wish to address the board. Speakers will be called individually, and we ask that they state their name and address prior to providing comments. Students and minors do not have to provide their address. Guests of the board are encouraged to speak to matters relating to the programs, services, and operations of DMPS. Please remember that Iowa law prohibits us from discussing specific employees or their job performance. We ask that all speakers avoid reference to personalities or character attacks, as those types of comments do not contribute to the purpose for which this public forum exists. The use of inappropriate language will not be tolerated, and individuals choosing to do so will be gavelled out of order and asked to excuse themselves from the premises or escorted out by district security. As a reminder to the board and public, the board will not engage in discussion with public forum speakers, as it is our obligation to discuss only matters posted in the public agenda for the sake of transparency and opportunity afforded to all community stakeholders. Matters requiring attention will receive appropriate staff and/or board follow-up at a time after the meeting. Thanks for your participation. We appreciate your feedback and input. Ms. Rios, do we have any speakers for the public forum?
No speakers tonight.
Thank you. We will now move on to our consent agenda. As a reminder, the board in public, the board will not engage in discussion or deliberation with the speaker regarding comments made to agenda items. Discussion and deliberation will remain among board members at the board table, with speakers' comments informing the board's discussion, deliberation, and determinations as deemed necessary. Ms. Rios, do we have any speakers?
No speakers tonight.
Ms. Norris, I believe you have the consent motion.
Thank you. I move that the board approve the consent items in accordance with the recommended action for each item on the consent agenda, including bills previously authorized, certified, and approved for payment by the board secretary in the amount of $7,873,115.43, and procurement transactions in the amount of $657,505.17.
Is there a second? We have a motion by Ms. Norris and a second by Ms. Sawyer. Are there any discussion or questions? Board members, please cast your votes. The consent items are approved 4-0. Next on the agenda are public hearings. We have item E1, public hearing for B8892 Phillips HVAC upgrades. The public hearing will come to order. Is there anyone wishing to speak to item E1? Hearing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Superintendent Roberts, will you please introduce the matter?
Certainly, Mr. Bradley. I recommend that the board review the proposed plans and specifications prepared by OPM Architects for HVAC upgrades at Phillips Elementary School, hold a public hearing, and approve the said plans.
May I have a motion and a second to approve item E1?
Norris, motion to approve.
Sawyer, second.
We have a motion by Ms. Norris and a second by Ms. Sawyer. Any discussions or questions? Board members, please cast your vote. The vote is approved 4-0. Next, we have item E2, public hearing for B9083 Roosevelt Library renovations. The public hearing will come to order. Is there anyone wishing to speak to item E2? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Superintendent Roberts, will you please introduce the matter?
Certainly, Ms. Bradley. I recommend that the board review the proposed plans and specifications prepared by Newman Monson, Inc. for library renovations at Roosevelt High School, hold a public hearing, and approve the said plans.
May I have a motion and second to approve item E2?
Norris,
Alonso-
motion to approve.
Alonso, second.
We have a motion by Ms. Norris and a second by Ms. Alonso Diaz. Any questions or discussion? Board members, please cast your vote. The vote is approved 4-0. Next on the agenda, we have items of privilege. I would ask if any board members have anything to share this evening.
I just want to say I am fired up because tomorrow I get to go to North High School and visit with ninth graders. And Dwana's going to be with me. And we're talking all about change agents. And so if anybody saw me, I was downstairs in the parking lot, fast and furiously reading my book, Red Bones. So I would be prepared to talk about it. But I'm really excited to have that chance to visit with ninth graders.
Mhm. Anyone else? I would be remiss to say that we don't miss our other board colleagues that aren't here at the table with us this evening. So well wishes to them all. We look forward to being with them at the next board meeting. I will now turn it over to Superintendent Roberts for a superintendent report.
Thank you, Ms. Bradley. Good evening again, everyone, board, teammates, community partners. This evening's report certainly want to build on our earlier celebrations of a number of our teammates in place. Today is National IT Professionals Day. Tremendous gratitude to all of our technology staff for their continued efforts to keep the district's 5,000 employees and almost 31,000 students connected to IT in every way. Today truly celebrates those who keep our digital world up and running. This is a perfect opportunity for us to truly express our gratitude and appreciation for the efforts of all of our DMPS IT staff, including folks in roles beyond the IT department, such as our building technology specialists, our assistive technology team in student services, and our various teams and system administrators serving their departments. They all have a hand in our collective IT success. And we all know that we should be thanking some IT specialists because there's not a single person sitting here today without a cell phone in their presence, in their being. So let's thank our IT specialists. It's important, yes. You know, in this age where technology is the backbone of our operations, the IT pros here at DMPS, particularly given the experiences that we have had in January of this year, are working tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that everything is running seamlessly, from troubleshooting technology issues to enhancing our cybersecurity. They are truly the guardians of our digital realm. Their dedication and expertise are all invaluable, and so we are incredibly grateful for them. Additionally, this week is designated as National Community Schools Week, and some of our unsung heroes are those who are our community service coordinators and other folks who work in our community services department. We are grateful for the work that they do every single day to support our students and their families. So thank you all as we celebrate Community Schools Week. Exciting announcement. Each of our 5 high schools will be hosting a Future Ready Kickoff event. This day will involve a college and career fair and small group student work sessions with a number of our guest speakers from our community. I believe some of them are sitting in the audience today. We'll have community professionals and alumni all sharing information about their careers, their pathway, and their personal experiences in navigating life after high school. These are the kinds of conversations that our students can benefit from and will benefit from immensely. And so if you have not yet signed up for the Future Ready Kickoff events, please do. We still have lots of slots that can add tremendous value to our students. Des Moines Public Schools will welcome all of our community, employers, and alumni to join us and support our students in being what we call Future Ready. Please complete a survey. If you get on our website, you'll be able to access that survey because your voice will be heard, and we are looking forward to that. And finally, as always, at every meeting, I will close with a reminder that our commitment as a district leadership team to teaching and leading from an orientation that is culturally responsive and empathetic remains in place and remains intact. In the weekly communication to our 5,000 employees, I, on behalf of our cabinet, often remind every single person reading that communication that we are focused on ensuring that every day that they show up to serve our almost 31,000 students, that we want to make sure that we are making sound decisions so that each and every one of them feels seen, heard, and supported, regardless of their lived experiences. Thank you, Ms. Bradley. That concludes this evening's superintendent's report.
Thank you, Superintendent Roberts. Thank you for joining us this evening. We greatly appreciate you all. This doesn't happen too often, but this meeting is adjourned at 5:54 p.m. The board will now recess to conduct a private hearing exempt from the requirements of Iowa Code Chapter 22, see Iowa Code Section 279.15. The board will reconvene in an open session following the conclusion of the private hearing and take action. Thank you. And I don't think we're really going to